Greetings YouTube, welcome back to the channel. I want to start off this video by thanking everybody who clicked on this video, and even all the people who didn't click on this video. You know, I thought that I would never, ever, ever get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. I thought that no one would care about my voice, no one would care about my opinion, that I would basically be irrelevant, because I was on YouTube for, golly, at least 6 years, maybe longer than that, as I claim my stash. Yeah, I was on YouTube for about 6 years and had less than 50 subscribers. Had a couple thousand views, thanks mostly to one sort of random viral pizza review. Which, if you don't believe that, the proof really does exist still on the history of my channel. And I don't mean to go through the whole background because I've covered it in previous videos and don't want to repeat myself. But you know, essentially, I started this YouTube channel because I wanted to just have an outlet creatively to practice making videos and talking, because I only teach about 7.5 months a year. And while that is a decent amount of time, that means that 4.5 months I don't teach. And so it can be kind of numbing to have all that free time, especially when you're not married, you don't have kids, and when you're home a lot. So I started making this channel. I was going to quit the game, I promise you. I told my brother, Dylan, now known as Prof, that I was going to quit the game. I was going to retire. I left my alliance. I was ready to delete the app. I told him that I was going for 5-star Stark Spidey, and I was going to save up all of my crystal shards to get this guy. Lo and behold, I recorded the video on his suggestion, and then I didn't get him. I didn't get him for a long time. Stark Spidey became my first hunt, and it kind of had a life of its own. It's crazy to think now, in a world where you can post a 7-star opening and it doesn't get 100 views. There's a time in this community where I could post a 5-star crystal opening hunt and get like 5,000 views. Didn't make any sense. Still didn't really make any sense. But I was honored, and suddenly I had people who were willing to watch. And I'm not saying everybody was rooting for me, and I'm not saying everybody should have been rooting for me. But I suddenly went from not having a YouTube channel that mattered to having a YouTube channel that grew exponentially, to where I was posting videos weekly, and then I started posting videos daily, and then I started doing broadcasts, and then I started doing it all daily. And then at the end of 2019, I thought I was going to quit. I was done. I had accomplished every goal I had set out for myself in my life on YouTube, tenfold what I thought realistically was the best case scenario. And then the pandemic hit. I found myself on lockdown with a lot of free time and a lot of people requesting crystal opening commentary submissions, and a lot was happening in the game itself and in the world, of course. So I just actually went from thinking that I was going to walk away to hitting content harder than I ever had before at like January, February 2020. 3.5 years later, here we are. Now, some of you have asked this behind the scenes, and I've had really great conversations behind the scenes. I have gone to Texas for 5 straight years, and I have done broadcasts almost every night from my brother's house. I did not do that this time. I had about 4 broadcasts in 14 days. It was the least I have ever broadcast in the history of my channel in Texas. On top of that, I produced a decent amount of content, but it was mostly, 4 to 6 minute videos over topics that were important, or bugs, or, the usual stuff. But I am now to the point, because I am starting tomorrow, because this is coming out on Sunday, and I'm starting on Monday, my first week of my new promotion. A promotion that will demand more time than I've ever done in teaching, but it also is going to have really great rewards financially in some ways, but not really. It's not really a huge difference in pay, but I just feel like I matter for the first time more than ever at my job. And that's pretty important because I've been a full-time college professor at Oklahoma State as what they call a professor of record since the fall of 2013. And it is now the fall of 2023. It is literally 10 years since I started. 10 years since I finished my master's degree and started as a visiting assistant professor and then moved to all sorts of different titles that sort of feel like alphabet soup to people who aren't familiar with higher education. I don't know where my channel is going to go for the rest of the year. I know I'm still going to do broadcasts when I can, and I so appreciate, especially shout out to the mod squad on my channel, best mods in the business. You all keep me going. There have been a lot of times this year where I thought, I don't have the energy to broadcast. I don't think people want to watch me broadcast. So I just think I'm good just not doing it. And then something tells me at the last second, you know what? If you can just make one person feel better about their day by saying hello. And there have been a couple of times where I've started the broadcast, I've been so dead tired, and then the internet crashes, and I just have to start laughing and think, well, maybe that's a sign. But overall, I have contemplated more than ever walking away. I do feel like this game at times is like your cell phone that's battery is almost dead, and so it's flashing at you. It's like less than 10% battery, and you need to plug it in, but there's no charger, so you're just going to have to watch it die slowly, even if the energy saver mode is on. I know that's a bleak analogy, but that's how I feel sometimes. I'm not going to just abruptly stop making content. I love still partnering with the company formerly known as Evizone that we're going to talk about more as a channel sponsor for both KT1 and I. Shout out to KT, who's producing as good a content as ever. I'm still thankful to be part of this community, but I'm not going to lie. I'm in a different place in my life than I was when I started this 5.5 years ago. I don't have the time that I used to dedicate to this, and I don't have the motivation in a lot of ways too, because I'm off the hamster wheel. And regardless of how much it costs me on paper to not have my channel grow as much, not have as many views, revenue, whatever, I've reached the point where I'm cool with it. I'm cool. Because I'm transitioning to a different part of my life. When I started my YouTube channel, I was in my late 20s. I'm now in my mid-30s. And while YouTube will always be important to me, it's served its purpose. This game has more than served its purpose. This community will always be so incredibly important to me. That's why I haven't quit yet. But it's an important announcement because as my channel has looked different this year, for those of you who have paid more attention than most probably, it's going to continue to look different. I'm not doing as many broadcasts. I'm not producing as many long-form content. I haven't done a poll series in a record amount of time. I'm probably going to try to bring that back in the next couple months. But I'll even miss it. I'm like, those were decent views. Those were decent broadcasts. But if I never did one again, would I be that disappointed? No, I wouldn't be. Because that's just where I am right now. And for those of you who've been following this channel for years, and even if you've been following it for just days, like I so appreciate it. I am upfront and honest with you about where I am in life. I know this is a very serious video, but when I reflect on how far I've come, I found a photo the other day where my best champion used to be a rank 4 5-star Starlord. Literally, I felt like I had won the game with a rank 4 5-star Starlord. And now, I'm not trying to flex, but it does mean a lot to me that thanks to your generosity, this is my roster now. And every time I make one of these videos, somebody's like, is Prof leaving? Can I have his account? No, I'm not leaving yet. You cannot have my account. But I'm going to continue to end 2023 by just kind of taking my foot off the gas, making videos when I can, and being content with the least content I've produced, the least views I've produced, the least revenue I've produced. I'm finally at a point where I can say I'm happy with where I am. I'm still thankful for a channel sponsor. I'm still thankful to be a voice for this community. But in the end, YouTube. Every good thing must come to an end. One day you're flying as high as the sun in the air, and you feel like you're going to stay up there forever. And the next day, even though in this case it's really years down the line. You're just ready to land the plane, get out of the cockpit, and rest. That's where I am right now. I used to kind of want to apologize for it, but I don't think I should. I think it's just where my life is right now, and that's okay. Thank you to everybody who's continued to support my channel. I'm still making content. I'm still doing broadcasts. It's just a reduced version of what I have done every day for 5.5 years. Thank you for your support. Have a great rest of your day.